G'day, battlers, and today we're going to be jumping in to take a look at MrMcCalvin's run through the Silph Arena APAC Continentals Preliminary Tournament. So essentially, everyone who got a Continentals invite through regionals or through national or global rank, they went into Continentals, duked it out to be in the top 8, and the top 8 will go through to the Continentals Finals, which will be this weekend. So MrMcCalvin is one of the 8 people in the APAC region who are going to be going through to the Finals this weekend, alongside 2 of his opponents in this tournament. So needn't say this is going to be a very stacked tournament, and there's going to be some very impressive battles. So jumping right into it, MrMcCalvin is the number 16 in the world and the number 1 in Israel, highest ranked person in this tournament, so really strong. Has a really nice team there with Ninetales, Hitmontop, franzwithaz, frostaz, Superior, and Drogalge. Really interesting team. And by the way, if you watched yesterday's video or you're following me on Twitter, I'm not wearing sunnies at the moment. My eyes are doing pretty well at the moment. They probably won't be in like an hour, so I figured, hey, let's take advantage of it and do it now. So jumping into it, into round 1 up against franzwithaz, who's got Shadow Hitmonchan, Skarmory, Swampert, Tangrowth, Emolga, and Alolan Graveler. So really interesting team there, and so interested to see how this is going to go down. Not a great lead here with Hitmontop up against Skarmory. Hitmontop at best is going to get 1 charge move off, and Skarmory will just be able to farm the entire way. So actually, seeing that, maybe could actually get to 2 close combats if you did back-to-back, but throwing straight away and swapping it into the frostaz, catching the skies. Wow. Already really nice catch there from MrMcCalvin. That Sky Attack essentially doing nothing. Swampert going to come in now. Going to have to burn the shield on this Hydro Cannon, but then we'll be able to get a charge move off, whether it be an Avalanche or a Shadow Ball, just anything. So charging up to 1.5 avalanches. Throwing the first avalanche now. We'll see if his shield does come up. This won't take out Swampert at this range. Going to hang on. And at this point, going to let the Hydro Cannon come through. So I guess this will let a Hitmontop come in and get a little bit of farm on that Swampert to have a bit of energy going into, presumably Skarmory is going to come back out. Dun dun dun. Oh no, we're actually seeing Shadow Hitmonchan come out. Okay, so this close combat will do a lot of damage because it is that Shadow. Shadow Hitmonchan is such a squishy Pokemon. This is actually really good for Rainy-Castle, because Rainy-Castle at this point only needs to get to a Weather Ball onto this Shadow Hitmonchan to take it out, and then needs to get to a Thunder on the Skarmory at the health range it's had to take it out. So this is actually really nice there. Oh snap, the opponent recognizing their only chance to win was if they caught the Weather Ball onto the Skarmory. MrMcCalvin, keeping his cool, knew that was the case, hung on, threw the Thunder at the Skarmory that came in, and had just enough energy to get this Water Weather Ball onto Hitmonchan before a charge move comes through. Just really cleanly played, and just a really just high tier battle to start us off here. Going into game 2 now, we've got Rainy-Castle up against the Swampert, which is a pretty good lead here. Unlike the lead in the last one, but MrMcCalvin obviously played out of that, so this one may go even better for him. So, going to burn the shield here. It is the Earthquake, so already a really nice call. Here comes Emolga, throwing a Water Weather Ball, which actually will do a fair amount of damage to this Emolga, I believe. Yeah, takes it down to like the yellow, which is actually huge. This other Weather Ball would pretty much be a death sentence if it went through, so forcing a shield out of that Emolga. Going to bring the frostaz in now. Frostaz going to just... Frostaz doesn't really care about any of Emolga's charge moves, so no shields needed, and then we'll be able to farm all the way down. Have tons of energy to go onto whatever comes in, be it Swampert or something else. Probably not Swampert, because Swampert would be so low that an Avalanche would be able to take it out, I think. So throw the Avalanche onto the Skarmory instead. Gets the shield. Ooh, mutual lag there. Didn't get to the Avalanche though, so it's not like he lost a charge move or anything, so I guess no need for a dispute or anything, but brings in the Rainy-Cast form, eats a Sky Attack, all good, and then needs to get to... Ooh, he's not going to get to a Thunder. Yeah, unfortunately, he has to throw the Water Weather Ball to try and get some damage off onto the Skarmory. It's a little bit unfortunate there, but all good because Hitmontop is in the back, and at this point may be able to shield and counter all the way down, and then just throw all of its energy at the Swampert in the back. Okay, here comes Swampert. Knew that he would have been able to farm down. Charging up extra. Unfortunately, Hydro Cannon coming through here. This might be really rough. Oh, hanging on. Gonna throw a close combat, and now needs to get rid of that Skarmory in the back with a few counters from Hitmontop and a few water guns. Oh, it's gonna be close. I think it's gonna somewhat... Oh my gosh. I thought that was gonna be simultaneous go. But wow. Just wow, MrMcCalvin clutching out that second game and winning the first round up against franzwithaz. And now going to the game 3, we've got that again, this really nice lead of Castle versus Swampert. First Weather Ball going to go through and letting this come through. So it is the Earthquakes that will do a fair amount of damage, brings it down to the red. Here's a Alolan Graveler, was not able to get to the Water Weather Ball, so this is actually really rough for MrMcCalvin. Pretty much his entire line is weak to a Alolan Graveler. This Rock Blast going to do a fair amount of damage, and the opponent still has 2 shields as well, so going to presumably burn the first shield on this Avalanche, and then I don't... I'm not sure if Avalanche is going to get to another Avalanche. Oh, I think that he actually got that... because he threw the charge move, it let MrMcCalvin get this extra Powder Snow through while the Volt Twist is coming through, getting the energy before the damage came through, and because of that, able to get the Avalanche off. Nice. But Ninetales coming to swamp it here, and this is not a great spot at all. Still has a shield on the other end, so yeah, I think this is going to be GG's, unfortunately. Hydro Cannon going to come through here. Ninetales does not like Hydro Cannon, funnily enough. And here comes Frostas and Skarmory going to take this one out, and that's going to be GG's on round 1. MrMcCalvin still taking it out, and we are now going into round 2, which is going to be up against Willy33B from Taiwan, who has the Venusaur, Heracross, Marshtomp, Honchkrow, Galarian Stunfisk, and Berserker. So really interesting team there. I'm really kind of liking how interesting these teams are, but with Frostas up against a Marshtomp in the lead, this is a little bit of an interesting lead because Surfs come through really fast from the Marshtomp. Looks like he threw it the exact time the Avalanche was up there. One Surf brings Frostas into the yellow. This is a really dangerous situation for MrMcCalvin. Going to throw the Avalanche here to try and get a shield out of Marshtomp. Does get the first shield. Second Avalanche up to it, but unfortunately Marshtomp able to get its Surf off first. Burning the shield now. Getting the Avalanche off. Looks like it was a CMP tie. Actually, was it? Surely Frost has a higher attack set than Marshtomp. Anyway, unfortunately, yeah, Surf going to come through here from the Marshtomp that would take out the Frostas, deciding to shield though instead to get up to this next Avalanche that will take out the Marshtomp because there are no more shields in play. And then we'll see what Willy does decide to bring in to try and get some farm. Oh no, we're seeing the Izzy swap into Ninetales. Looking at Willy's team, Ninetales is actually really strong against pretty much the entire team except for Marshtomp. So with Marshtomp out of the way, that's really just well played with MrMcCalvin identifying that it's really good. And Berserker and Venusaur on the back, there was just nothing Willy could do. This is just a really nice spot for MrMcCalvin to be in. Just really good identification. I guess Willy ran that ABB line where he only had one Pokemon that was good up against that Ninetales, but then didn't swap it out when it didn't catch a Ninetales lead. So I will see if he plays it a little bit differently this time around. Hitmontop up against Marshtomp this time. Getting counted down. This Surf will not take out Hitmontop. Hitmontop's actually surprisingly bulky. Like, it can take a few hits. It can't take 2 Surfs in saying that, but hey, it can still take some hits. So burning the shield on the Surf there. Bringing Marshtomp really low now. I think he's again going to let the Marshtomp go. Maybe as Honchkrow and Galarian Stunfisk, just trying to something to counter down the Ninetales in the back. Actually going to let Marshtomp take it out. So I guess at this point, we'll be able to bring the Frostas in, get some farm on this Marshtomp. Not wanting to let that happen, the opponent swaps into the Berserker, but this just lets Ninetales come in, switch locked. This is a really nice spot again. Ninetales burning the first shield on this close combat. Defense is going to be dropped now. A little bit of mutual lag there, but still able to take out Berserker, no worries. And then presumably Marshtomp going to come back in. Yeah, here's here's Galarian Stunfisk. Okay, that's actually kind of interesting, because this, like, Ninetales with a bunch of energy should be pretty scary for the Galarian Stunfisk. Now able to get the Overheat. Overheat is going to take this thing out. This is actually really rough for Willy. Down goes Galarian Stunfisk. Marshtomp going to come back in. Has to get a Surf to take out the Ninetales, but then also has to take out the Frostas in the back. But Weather Ball coming through from the Frostas first. This actually might be enough to take it out. Yeah, taking out Marshtomp. Wow, that did even keeping Marshtomp around. It just didn't have enough health to deal with the Ninetales, unfortunately. So going into game 3 now, having taken out both of the first 2 rounds, Rainy Castle going in up against Marshtomp. Pretty decent spot for the Rainy Castle, to say the least. Has Sludge, but look how little Sludge does. So swapping into Berserker, again, we're going to see Ninetales come straight in here. Farming up. Building the shield now. Because again, presumably, ooh, goes to the foul play. Ooh, so I think Berserker actually may get another charge move off before going down, which is pretty nice there. Burning both shields. That's a pretty huge call. Again, recognizing that Ninetales is really strong up against his team, but Marshtomp is a lot healthier this time around. So going for the Weather Ball. Goes through, and then, I was like, is he going to go for an Overheat? No, it goes for another Weather Ball, which actually does a fair amount of damage to Marshtomp. Does more than I thought it would. Here comes the Rainy Castle. Going to eat up this charge move no matter what. That's just, what a catch. I know I kind of missed the hype there, but that is actually a really just well done cat from MrMcCalvin, making sure Ninetales staying around. That's why I was throwing all of the weather balls to just let the switch timer go down, so that he could then swap into Rainy Cast form to just eat up all of this energy from the Marshtomp. Just really cleanly played. Eating that sludge, gonna get this water weather ball off just before going down onto this Marshtomp. I think this will take it out. Takes it out, and then we've got that Galarian Stunfisk in the back, which we have a full health Hitmontop. Just waiting for this moment, like, no Ninetales required. Going to be able to come in. We'll be able to tank an Earthquake from that Galarian Stunfisk even. And then one close combat is all MrMcCalvin needs to take out Willy Stunfisk here. And that is taking out 2 rounds of this tournament. At this point, you kind of need to win 6. Assuming there's no out. Yeah, you kind of need to win 6 rounds to get through. Going into round 3 now, up against 2-pick from Indonesia, who has that Haunter, Kingdra, Defense Deoxys, Probopass, Scrafty, and Quilladin. Such an awesome team. Like, it's really cool how like kind of diverse these teams are, which is it's just really cool to see. So Ninetales up against Defense Deoxys, a little bit of a rough spot because there could be a Rock Slide there coming your way, which is definitely rough. So swapping into Dragalge, maybe trying to hope for a Rock Slide catch, but didn't work out that way. Does actually shield a Rock Slide, which is really unfortunate for MrMcCalvin there, but look how much damage the Dragon Tails are doing onto this Deoxys. This is absolutely crazy. There it does a Psycho. Okay, so we know that it's a Rock Slide Psycho Boost Deoxys now. Going straight for the array to try and take this Scrafty out. There is a 2-0 shield advantage. Now there's a 1-0 shield advantage. So yeah, unfortunately, Dragalge's energy just burning up there. So I think Dragalge can tank this no matter what. Is it a foul play? Not quite able to get to that outrage. That is really unfortunate. All of the energy just gone. Has to bring in this Ninetales, throwing the Weather Ball. Doesn't take out the Scrafty. Would need another one. It looks like a Scrafty got like a counter Ender Charge move off here, which is a little bit unfortunate, but foul play coming through. Swapping into the Superior now. Gonna go for the full farm down of Scrafty here. If it got off to a foul play, that even, yeah, okay, it was just a Power Punch. So here comes Deoxys, and there is still a Pokemon in the back as well. So there's a shield still to play, so maybe he goes for like a Leaf Tornado bait, or, okay, eats a Psycho Boost, charging up to 2 Frenzy Plants, so maybe going to go for 1 Frenzy Plant, take the shield, 2nd Frenzy Plant, takes out the Deoxys, and then we'll see what's in the back. Oh, no, letting it go. Okay, so what's in the back? Hello, hello, hello. Oh, it's Haunter, okay. So Haunter, okay, we're going for the Leaf Tornado bait here, and if he gets the shield, he's going to be able to get to a Frenzy Plant and take the, oh my gosh. Wow. Okay. Well played. And brings in the Ninetales, Shadow Punch coming through here. And most of Haunter's energy gone now. Gonna get to this, that is so well played. That is absolutely ridiculous. Well done, MrMcCalvin. That is just so clean. And, oh wait. There was a Scrafty. There was still a Scrafty. Simultaneous K. Oh my gosh. This is insane. Oh my gosh. It's going to the kind of game 2 now. I've seen the swap into Scrafty, swap into Dragalge. It's still 0-0. Wow. This is the Continentals. This is Continentals, ladies and gentlemen. That is absolutely ridiculous. Here comes Scrafty. Looks like we're potentially going up for the Outrage strat again. I feel like he could just go for straight Aqua Tail and potentially do some work here, but charging up. Okay, maybe just charging up for the Outrage and then going to keep you around for later. Maybe charging up for double Aqua Tail. Oh, that is really rough. All the energy gone again. What does MrMcCalvin have against Dragalge throwing charge moves? But Power Punch going to come in. Rainy Castform is going to get a lot of farm on this Scrafty. We'll see what comes in. It is that Deoxys instant swap into Superior, and we're seeing an instant swap into Haunter so fast that we didn't even see any animation. Just instantly, suddenly became a Haunter. So going for Leaf Tornado and getting a shield again. That is so rough. Going for another Leaf Tornado by the looks of it, before getting up to a Frenzy Plant. That's what it looks like. Shielding up the Shadow Ball. And yeah, not even up to the Frenzy Plant yet. Maybe relying on 2-pick not having the counts. It does burn the shield. Wow. Okay, at this point, not going to get to another Frenzy Plant before Haunter's going to take it out. Just went for a Shadow Punch. So actually, he's able to get the... If he went for the Shadow Ball, this Superior would be gone. But because he went for a Shadow Punch, able to get the Frenzy Plant off, take out the Haunter. It's Deoxys in the back. I actually don't think that MrMcCalvin is going to take this one out though still. Because even with like 100 energy on Rainy Castform, with this low health, I think it's going to take it out. So through a Weather Ball, through a Thunder. He would need another charge. This is going to take it out. And then, yeah, don't have much health in the back either. I think 2-pick might have this one. Yeah, unfortunately, 2-pick, it is now, it's 1-0. Even though there was, it's kind of like 2-1, but there's still like 2 games to play. Just with I guess 1.5 to a half. We're seeing Superior up against Scrafty here. Not a bad spot. MrMcCalvin just running this same line of 3, recognizing that it can do some work up against 2-pick. If he, I guess, plays a little bit cleaner. I mean, that first game almost went in his favor. I mean, almost went in both their favors. One fast move would have changed things. But seeing the swap it into Dragalge now, Scrafty's on low health. Deoxy's coming in now. And again, have to be scared off that Psycho Boost. Farming past the Outrage. Throwing the Outrage now. Do we see a charge move finally landing from Dragalge? No, we don't. Deoxy's shielding up. I think this is the first time that MrMcCalvin actually has the shield advantage over 2-pick, which must be very scary for 2-pick. They must be so used to being in the shield advantage spot. But again, are we going to see more energy? Okay, we're seeing him protect the energy. Shield up, throwing the Aqua Tail now. We'll see if 2-pick decides to protect their Deoxys or not. Let's go through and now swapping into Superior to go for a farm down potentially. But at this low health, I mean, this charge move is going to do a lot of damage. Psycho Boost. Oh, actually, able to hang on. I guess he was already attack debuffed from a Psycho Boost. So I didn't see if this was a Frenzy Plant. To get the shield from Haunter, they're not playing around. They knew there was going to be some sort of trick. In comes the Rainy Cast Form. If it's a Shadow Ball, it's going to hurt. It does shield, and it is just a Shadow Punch, unfortunately. This should just be another Shadow Punch, I think. Yeah. And then 1 Weather Ball is all he's going to need to take this Haunter out. Full Water Gun farm down. Okay. MrMcCalvin is not here to play. We'll see what comes in here. Scrafty's pretty low, and Deoxys is really low. Going for the Water Weather Ball to make sure this thing goes down, though. And then, yeah, I think it's just a low health Scrafty in the back. I think. Yeah, 1 Weather Ball. This will take it out, and that brings us to 1-1 plus a tie. This is one tight round up against 2-pick. So jumping in. We've got Rainy Cast Form up against Deoxys. So this is an okay matchup because Deoxys doesn't have the Thunderbolt. So swapping straight into Scrafty. Kind of interesting. Again, running the exact same line of 3. I'll see if 2-pick is running that same line of 3 as well. If we can expect a Haunter to be hanging out in the back. Water Weather Ball goes through, brings it down to like half health. And is a foul play, so a little bit unfortunate that it came through, but still going to hang on regardless. At this point, Scrafty could potentially just go for power punches and counters, but Water Weather Ball going through now. Ooh, actually, that's a... Whoa, that is so unfortunate for MrMcCalvin. 1, didn't take it out, and 2, tried to swap into Dragalge to take the charge move, but unfortunately didn't go through. So actually, it's still able to hang on with Cast Form, so I'm kind of expecting that to rear its head in some sort of like really nice sack swap at some point. But burning the shield on this potential Psycho Boost, and it is a Psycho Boost, a really nice call there from MrMcCalvin. Another Psycho Boost will not take out Dragalge because of that attack debuff that it's now brought upon itself, and that's exactly what they've gone for. Farming, going for an Outrage. Now they're up to an Outrage and a half. Gets the shield. In it comes the Haunter. This dragon, like, you saw how much one single Dragon Tail did. Going for the Aqua Tail now. Gets that last shield out of 2-pick, and now it is Superior coming in. Just has to get to this Frenzy Plant. Shields up the potential Shadow Ball. And it is a Shadow Ball, so they're actually now going to be able to farm even more before a potential Shadow Punch can come through. Ooh, they've actually gone. I guess MrMcCalvin is farming in case of a Shadow Ball, but then they threw it Shadow Punch anyway. But this Frenzy Plant will take out the Haunter, and then have a nice little bit of energy to go into the back two. Is that Deoxys? How much health did Deoxys have? Still had a bit, didn't it? Ooh, able to hang on, but yeah, taken out. And that is G's taking out the round. So swapping opponents now, and we're actually now going up against Vintagepaul, who is one of the other 8 people progressing to the APAC Continentals Final. So guaranteed this is going to be a battle of the giants here. So we're seeing him on top up against Politoed. Not a great spot for him on top, because Politoed's Weather Balls are going to be really spammy, really dangerous. And look at Vintagepaul's team, by the way. Another really interesting team. We've got Shadow Dragonair coming in. Close Combat going to be thrown here. Gets the shield, and now, because it is switch locked, able to bring in Frostass. But look how much Shadow Dragon Breath is still doing. This is absolutely crazy. Has to be on a shield, and then I think we'll be able to Powder Snow all the way down and have tons of energy to go into whatever comes in. Oh, that is really unfortunate. Oh, that's rough, having to burn both shields here to protect this Frostass and all of its energy. But we'll see if Politoed comes back in, going straight for the Shadow Ball. Almost has 2 Shadow Balls, 1 Powder Snow away, I think. Goes through, and then actually could have just gone for an Avalanche. Farming up, and seeing a whimsical... Okay, not quite a catch on the Whimsicott because this is still super effective. Has to burn the shield. And now seeing Superior come in. This is a pretty good spot for Superior. Even though this Frenzy Plant will be resisted, it'll only need 2 to take out Whimsicott. And there's the first one. And then, are we going to see a charge move come through from Whimsicott? No, we are not. Whimsicott's going to go down. There is not much health left in the back. This is pretty much GG's. MrMcCalvin has got this one. Even if this is like an Earthquake or a Blizzard, Superior will go down, but there's still Pokemon in the back. And yeah, taking out game 1 up against Vintagepaul. Really nicely played there. Dragalge up against Politoed in game 2 now. Seeing the instant swap into Dragonite. Look how much damage is being thrown both ways. Dragon Breath versus Dragon Tail. It's just damage. Now seeing the Frostas come in to catch the Aqua Tail. Going to be able to Powder Snow all the way down this time. No sneaky Aqua Tails at the end. And then we're actually going to see Berserker come in, which is a really interesting swap. Almost at 2 Avalanches. Going to throw the first one now. Gets the shield out of Berserker and not able to get to that second Avalanche, unfortunately. I'm not sure what the best play to bring in here is, to be honest. We know there's a Dragon in their back. I guess bringing the Dragalge, you already have some energy, so you can play up against the Berserker that already has energy. Goes through, bringing it down relatively low. Would have to burn, does have 2 shields, so actually can afford to burn a shield. And then I think might be able to get to another Aqua Tail before a charge move. Oh, CMP tie, that is rough. That's really unfortunate. Gonna let your Dragalge go there. Superior coming in. Potentially could go for a full farm down. Gonna have to burn a shield to do it though, unless it's like a foul. Okay, yeah, burn the shield. At this point, Vintagepaul is presumably gonna swap out so that MrMcCalvin can't do a full farm down. But it's Politoed in the back. Rest in peace, Politoed. Just has to go through. Actually, oh, Politoed still able to get a charge move off. And it is just a weather ball. Unfortunately, yeah, it's GG's. Vintagepaul going down here. MrMcCalvin taking it out. That's 2-1, right? I think. Going to game 3 now, though. Seeing an instant swap into Superior from the Frostas v Berserker matchup. And then going to shield up on the Superior. Not swapping out. So are we expecting the same lineup with Politoed and Dragonair in the back? I don't think there was a swap there. So I think this Frenzy Plant is going through. Oh, gets the shield, but yeah, onto Berserker. Here's Dragonair, so going to get another Frenzy Plant off. This is really nice. This isn't going to, it is resisted, but it still does a fair amount of damage to a Shadow Dragonair. Frenzy Plant is such a broken move. It is absolutely insane. But presumably an Aqua Tail coming through that I'm not sure if it'll take it out. Doesn't quite, and oh, wasn't tapping on the charge moves. Okay, actually, maybe better, because now Frostas comes in. He's able to get a bit of farm. He's going to eat an Aqua Tail, but that's a-okay, because gonna get this energy and that is all worth it. Gonna see Berserker come in now. Are we seeing that Ninetales just hanging out in the back, just hanging out there? Throwing a Shadow Ball onto Berserker. Gets the shield, now swapping to Ninetales, and now Politoed's coming in. But I think Politoed, a Weather Ball plus an Overheat may be enough to take it out, plus the Fire Spins. So farming up to that eventuality. Gonna have to shield up, obviously, on this charge from Politoed. Really low here, but 1 more Fire Spin, 2 more Fire Spin, getting really, really low here. Weather Ball going through now. And then going to throw the Overheat. And then throwing the Overheat, because now the Overheat would have attack debuffed, which is why you have to do it in that order. And oh, it doesn't quite take it out. Ooh, not quite taking it out, but Frost's going to come in. Going to take out Politoed with a little bit of farm. Oh, I think, that is unfortunate. Yeah, unfortunately, not quite enough. Vintagepaul able to take a game out of MrMcCalvin there. And we're actually going from one Continental finalist to another Continental finalist. Nino468 from China, who's got that Ninetales, Shadow Politoed, Credilli, Bronzong, Galvantula, and Obstagoon. Instant swap into Shadow Politoed. I didn't actually see what the original lead was. Something that Dragalge doesn't. Maybe it was Ninetales, actually. Shields up the Earthquake, which is a really nice call. Look how much damage Dragon Tail is doing. Dragon Tail is like crazy now with this new, I guess it's not that new, the Season 8 GBL update. But Aqua Tail getting a shield, swapping into the Hitmontop, catching the charge move. This is not going to take it out no matter what it is, and potentially could go. It is an Earthquake, all good. You're able to counter all the way down now. No Weather Balls coming through. We'll see if it is that. Ninetales coming out now. If you can get a Rock, doesn't just go for this close combat. Okay, I guess giving Ninetales less farm. It still does tons of damage, by the way, like still heaps. You could bring in Ninetales potentially because it is lower. Okay, gonna bring in Dragalge. Throws the Aquatail, but Bronzong comes in. This is actually really good for Ninetales. Ninetales is gonna be able to come in now. Oh, actually, and once this time is up, which is now, Ninetales is gonna come in, do a really nice job up against Bronzong. Ninetales won't have to shield any of Bronzong's charge moves, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think so. Although with the confusions, it actually is getting low, so yeah, it does burn the shield there. Gonna be able to farm all the way down. Has that Ninetales in the back, and Nino does have the shield advantage, so tries to get that last shield with the Weather Ball here. Does get the shield, and now one more Weather Ball is all that's going to be needed to take this Ninetales out, I think. Yeah, down it goes, and MrMcCalvin taking out that first game. Ninetales again is looking pretty good up against Nino's team, as long as it doesn't land up against that Politoed. So, Dragalge versus Politoed. This is what Nino switched into in the last game, but still a really nice spot for Dragalge. Shielding up the potential Earthquake. It is just a Weather Ball bait there, which is pretty unfortunate there. Just Dragon Tailing away, going straight for the Outrage. I feel like Aquatails maybe would have got there, but it does burn the shield on the Outrage, unfortunately. At this point, I feel like McCalvin... Oh, no, shielding up. Predicting the Earthquake now, and it is the Earthquake. At this point, we'll be able to... Ooh, okay. Weather Ball's going to come through. Not going to take it out. Going to be able to Dragon Tail all the way down, unless there's a quick swap here. No quick swap. Brings in Ninetales, gets one quick move of farm, and actually bringing in Ninetales of his own. So, I guess Ninetales must be their best counter. I guess Politoed's down now, so... Yeah, they don't really have a better counter, so I'm kind of expecting something that's weak to Ninetales in the back, maybe like Bronzong or Galvantula. We'll just have to wait and see on that front. But Weather Ball going through now, clicked on the Overheat, but the opponent's charge move coming through first. Is the Overheat, so able to hang on. Nice. And now throwing Overheat in return. Both their attacks are going to be debuffed, but the opponent, swapping out actually into Bronzong. So it is the Bronzong. Rainy Castle not in a bad spot here. We'll see if there is a sneaky little sack swap into a Dragalge at some point. I'm not sure if Dragalge... Sideshow going to come through. Still a shield to take on Nino's side. This is actually a little bit... This is looking pretty rough. I'm not sure if MrMcCalvin can take out this one. Weather Ball going through. Gets the shield. Charging up as much as possible, but yeah, unfortunately, I think this is GG's. I think this is going to be 1-1. MrMcCalvin v Nino. Dragalge is going to come in, but... Yeah, didn't have enough to take out both of the Pokemon that were left. So 1-1 going to the last battle of round 5 here. And we're seeing Dragalge up against Politoed again. So even though this is a decent matchup, MrMcCalvin obviously lost the last game in this matchup. So we'll see how it eventuates this time around, if they play it a little bit differently. Weather Balls, Earthquakes could come at different times. Shields might be used at different times. Aquatail getting a shield. That is really nice for Dragalge. Burning the shield here, predicting the Earthquake. And it's just a Weather Ball. That is really unfortunate. Charging up. Could just go for another Aquatail here. Burning another shield, hoping it's an Earthquake. It is the Earthquake, so nice call there. And then again, we'll be able to farm all the way down. Weather Ball's going to come through, but we'll be able to Dragon Tail down. No worries. We'll see what comes in. If it is that Bronzong to get energy, but it is the Bronzong. Going to get some energy here, but Ninetales is obviously going to be able to come in once Dragalge goes down. So lands both Aquatails, no confusion sneaking in. That is really clean, really clean. Bringing Bronzong down to almost half health with the Dragon Tail. Ninetales is going to come in now. Him on top would be just melting away at this point. So swapping into Ninetales in the lead. So swapping into Ninetales would really like to land. Actually, at this point, because of all the counter damage, a close combat's all that is going to need to land. But ideally, because there is still a shield on Nino's side, so there's the shield. Won't be able to get to a close combat before Ninetales can take it out, and then it's going to be Ninetales v Ninetales, and then McCalvin's Ninetales is going to have to take out the opposing Ninetales and the Bronzong in the back. So Weather Ball isn't going to be enough. Kind of expecting Nino to get an Overheat off. Potentially going to go for a full farm down, throw an Overheat at Bronzong. Bronzong has a bit of energy though too, so this is going to be a little bit... GG's. Nino delivering Mr. McCalvin's only loss in this tournament. That is just really nicely done. And Nino, again, is going through to the finals as well. And that brings us to the final round up against beating U007. Hang on, I'm going to pause for a sec. Because this is the final round. And Mr. McCalvin needs to win this battle because they are a battle down. They need to win this battle to make sure that they're going through to the Continentals Finals. And B-Ting from Australia also wants to win this battle to kind of get themselves a spot into the final. So running with that Venusaur, him on top, Altaria, Probopass, Chandelure, Alolan Golem going into the final round here, round 6. We've got Dragalge up against Altaria. Again, we're going to see that Dragon Tail up against Dragon Breath action. And they're kind of even-ish, like they're both sort of going down at the same rate. Shielding up this Sky Attack, going to go for an Aqua Tail now. Dragalge has the advantage of getting its charges off more spammily, so it almost has a second Aqua Tail on as well. So I'm going to go... Ooh, yeah, I'm not sure if a Farm Down would have done it, so it has to throw this last Aqua Tail. Gets the shield, and then swapping out into Frost, that's getting one Powder Snow of energy, bringing Altaria down, keeping Dragalge for a potential sack swap in the future. And this is not where Frostlass wants to be. Those Incinerates doing tons of damage, but is able to land it on the perfect turn, getting the Shadow Ball on, forces the shield from Chandelure if they want to stay around. And then they could have gone for a full farm down, maybe. Might have got it from an Avalanche though. So goes for a Flame Charge, buffs his attack, but Rainy Castform is in the back. So this is pretty rough for Chandelure, to be honest. Gonna do whatever it can. It's got Shadow Ball? Flame Charge again, getting the shield bait there. And Probopass in the back. This is really nice for MrMcCalvin. Really nice pick on the Rainy Castform here. I guess B-Ting's best Rainy Castform counter is Venusaur, which has not appeared. Alolan Golem would be pretty good as well. And then Altaria and him on top have some play. But yeah, just I guess another little bit of a case of an ABB lineup where Rainy Castform is really good against the things in the back. And B-Ting didn't swap out from that Altaria. So really rough lead for B-Ting there. Frostlass up against it. Swaps into the Probopass. Rainy Castform going to come in again. Really nice spot here. This is the ABB in the what B-Ting wants to do. Soak out the Rainy Castform, and then maybe Altaria can come in and get rid of the Rainy Castform before, and maybe leave it clean for Chandelure in the back. Eating that first Weather Ball, and then here comes Altaria, presumably, unless he's like here comes Altaria. Rainy Castform going to go straight for this Thunder, which isn't like a one-hit KO, but still does some respectable damage. Just going to keep Water Gunning away. And swapping into Dragalge to try and take this thing out. Rainy Castform staying on for later. So if Chandelure is in the back, going to be a little bit rough. So Dragon Tailing away, going to be able to Dragon... Could have Dragon Tailed all the way down there, but going to decide to throw the Aqua Tail. Does let Altaria go, and here is Chandelure in the back as expected. And able to get the Aqua Tail off. So that is actually really nice played from MrMcCalvin there. Oh, would he have still been able to... Yeah, I think they actually had to play exactly like that to get the Aqua Tail off, burning the first shield from Chandelure, and now has to play it out so that Chandelure doesn't get too flame charged up to eat these water guns from Rainy Castform, and we'll be able to water gun all the way down. And with that, MrMcCalvin has secured his place in the APAC Continentals Finals, which will be coming up this weekend. I'll talk about that in a sec, but one last battle here. We're seeing the double swap into him on top versus Chandelure here. Chandelure does not want to get hit by any rocks at all. It is such a squishy Pokemon. Oh my god, look at it go! What's going to come? What's going to come in? Yeah, here's Altaria. B-Ting already one Pokemon down, which is really unfortunate here. This is the number 2 seeded matchup. B-Ting has played so well to get up to this point, but MrMcCalvin is such a monster, landing another... Oh my gosh, this is so rough. This is really rough here. Dragalge, one fast move, takes it down, and now it is just the Probopass in the back with 2 shields. Unfortunately, Rainy Castform is going to be able to take this one out. This is pretty much locked and loaded unless MrMcCalvin makes some big mistakes. Yeah, and I think B-Ting knows it at this point, but B-Ting played so incredibly well. Again, getting up to the number 2 seed. I think B-Ting was the top placed Australian in the tournament. Unfortunately, we didn't get any Aussies through to the Continental Finals, but yeah, B-Ting knew it was up. Just let it go down there, and that is GG's. And I want to bring up the image here, the APAC Finals image. So these are the 8 people who are advancing through to the APAC Continentals Finals. MrMcCalvin, Katsura 14, Vintagepaul, Roger 10 40, Nino 468, Bart the Gamer, Ball 14 more, Portillo. And yeah, so that's going to be going on this weekend. Hopefully I can bring you some coverage of that tournament when it comes to fruition, when we crown our APAC Continental Champion, and we'll cheer for them on to go through to the World Championships in a little bit of time. So with that said, thank you for watching. Thank you so much for MrMcCalvin for sharing this footage with us, and all of the opponents for agreeing to kind of let their battles be shown here. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, especially the subscribe one if you have not already. I may be wearing sunglasses in the future if my eyes they're probably going to fluctuate. It's just doing really good at the moment. We'll see how that develops. But thank you to my patrons and supporters over on Twitch. I need to move my camera out of the way. Thank you all. And yeah, if you haven't already checked out the Silph Arena APAC Factions Final, definitely check that out over there. I did it with Dr. Trotter. Really nice stream. And then down there, if you're watching this video, like when it first releases, it's going to be Jim's run through the APAC Wildcard Qualifier Tournament. It may update to the World Championships or something similar in the future. So also subscribe.